From the very beginning, from the first time that a customer calls us to the time that a cluster is going to the graveyard and they're pushing it off the dock, we are there and we're providing an absolutely customized level of support. That means that their software, which is very specific, and sometimes, one cluster which works for one person is not going to work for a different kind of research with a different kind of program. And so the hardware is designed to match exactly what the customer is going to be doing. There's so many different applications out there. If it's computational fluid dynamics, it takes one kind of cluster. If it's genetic research and you're going to be searching lots and lots of DNA, that's an entirely different approach. And that's things that we take into consideration and come into account from the day that the cluster is built until the very last support phone call. That last support phone call might be about the massive quantity of memory that's there for that DNA research. And the whole full spectrum of cluster type design is taken into consideration, and we support all of it from the tiniest parallel code execution clusters to the largest serial job type clusters. Because we build every single cluster to exact specifications for the program that's going to be running on this cluster, it becomes a very personal process. The process from installing those components in an empty chassis with no software on it to the point where it's shipping and it's got every last piece of software installed on it that's ever going to be living there. It's there, and we have built from scratch something that the customer feels like they can rely on. There's a very high level investment in that. All of the technical staff look at it from the point of, do we feel like this is a cluster that we would be happy using? So if there's some way that we can modify the installation process or the way that it's configured to make things easier for administration purposes, because everybody loves an easy to administer cluster. Oftentimes when a customer comes to us and they have something that they need some attention on, and we start looking at that particular issue, we may also discover things like backups aren't being done on a regular basis. Taking care of those things before someone asks about them ensures that there's less downtime, there's less panic when something does go down because it's already been taken into consideration. Those are the things that we do to make sure that things that aren't asked for are done anyways. And that, I think, really goes a long way. If we say that we can do something by a particular time and date, we're very serious about that, and we do our very best to make sure that that happens.